We want to bring in Paul McLeary now. He's a defense reporter with Politico to talk a little bit more about this latest news that we're getting about Vladimir Putin and an additional 300,000 troops. So my question to you is, we've heard all kinds of stories, some of them unconfirmed, about Russian troops, not being aware that they were entering a war, being ill-equipped, just generally being disorganized. What is the likely impact of adding an additional 300,000, if that's what he gets, to the military endeavor, the war in Ukraine?
Right. Yeah, I think most of these troops, I mean, they're reservists, right? So they've served before. I don't imagine most of them would go into Ukraine. They would be rear echelon troops doing things like logistics, things like that. If they do win, they're going to be mostly just cannon fodder. I mean, Russia needs to hold ground. That's what they've been losing ground quickly. The Ukrainians have been massing artillery, massing HIMARS strikes, rocket strikes, and armor movements. And so I think a lot of these troops with very minimal training would just be shoved into the front line just to try to hold some ground, to try to stop some of the offensives that Ukraine has been conducting.
Well, as you know, Russia's not calling it a retreat. What's happening in the areas where Ukraine is gaining ground, they're saying that they're repositioning. Is this, though, an indication that, in fact, they are not repositioning, they are retreating to a certain degree, or they are at least losing in areas that they didn't expect to?
No, it's absolutely been a retreat. I mean, they held ground. The front lines were pretty light around Kharkiv up in the east, and they were pushed back to the Russian border. I mean, they fled. Many of the troops fled into Russia, so they were pushed back very quickly. It was a staggering, stunning collapse by the Russian army in the east there. So where Russia has really failed here is to support their armor on the ground with ground troops. And I think that if some of these troops go in, it would just be to try to support some of the armor units that have been battered by rocket and artillery strikes. So if they've learned any lessons, this could be one of them. But lightly trained and lightly equipped troops are only going to be able to do so much against now battle-hardened Ukrainian troops with U.S. and British and Norwegian and German equipment.
You know, Paul, it seems like every week we're hearing from the Biden administration about another multi-million-dollar infusion of military aid to Ukraine. Some of these weapons are really expensive. These javelins are like $200,000 a pop. But can we credit this sort of high-tech weaponry that Ukraine is getting from the U.S. for these major gains that we're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the war had kind of ground down to more of a long-distance artillery strike or artillery battle for a lot of the summer. The United States in midsummer finally started donating the HIMARS, which can go shoot missile rocket launchers, can shoot about 50 miles. Once that happened, once those got on the ground, things changed. I mean, the Ukrainians, with U.S. help, which U.S. officials have acknowledged that they're providing real-time intelligence to the Ukrainians, where Russian ammo depots are, Russian logistics lines. The Ukrainians started using these longer-range rockets to take out ammunition depots across the east and south. I mean, every night you'd see on social media burning ammunition depots and rockets flying off from being blown up. And that hugely impacted the Russian ability to take ground and then to hold ground. So the HIMARS and the howitzers, the M777s, with Excalibur rounds, which can go farther and are very precise, really changed the course of the war in the East.
All right. Hey, Paul, really good talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.